At the crown of Bharat, cradled in the lap of the Himalayas, lies Kashmir. Kashmir, the land once known as Shardapet, the seat of Saraswati, a place where river of wisdom once flowed as freely as its streams. A place where the river Vitasta, what we now call Jhelum, once whispered through Shardapet, carrying the voices of rishis who sang the Vedas to the mountains. Kashmir was called Sharda Desh, the land of Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom. Knowledge, art, devotion, philosophy all flowed through its veins. Kashmir had been a cradle of civilization since time immemorial. It was home to saints, scholars, seekers, and Shardapet, the ancient temple and university, was one of the most prominent centers of learning in Asia, rivaling Nalanda and Takshashila. The land is dotted with sacred tirthas, the Amarnath cave, where Shiva whispered secrets of immortality, Vaishno Devi, the abode of Mother Goddess, and Anantnag, named after Ananta, the Seshnaka, who upholds the universe. But what happened to this sacred land? Why does its soil, once soaked with the songs of seekers, now tremble with cries? Why did its own children become strangers to it? Today, we uncover, with calm truth and fearless heart, the untold story of Kashmir. Kashmir was once a lake, as per legend, drained by Rishi Kashyapa. Thus, Kashyapa Mera became Kashmir. In history, it was a beacon of knowledge, home to Shardapet, one of the greatest universities of ancient India, birthplace of profound philosophies like Kashmir Shaivism, a place where Buddhism, Hinduism, and later Sufism coexisted. This was not a barren political land. It was not always a battlefield. It was Bhudevi's jewel crown. But the world changes. By the 14th century, Islamic invasions began. Under Sultan Sikandar Batshikan, temples were destroyed and forced conversion began. Thousands of Kashmiri Pandits either converted, fled, or died. Over centuries, repeated invasions eroded the ancient fabric of Kashmir. The Hindu majority was slowly displaced or converted by sword and fire. Despite this, the Kashmiri Pandits, descendants of the original inhabitants, kept the flame alive. The spirit of Kashmir survived, hidden in poetry, crafts, and silent prayers. By the time of the partition of India in 1947, Maharaja Hari Singh, a Hindu king ruling a Muslim-majority region, found himself in a precarious situation. He wanted to remain independent, caught between the newly formed dominions of India and Pakistan. However, in October 1947, Pakistan orchestrated an invasion using tribal militias. The barbaric attacks, especially on women and children, are barely mentioned in popular narratives. Faced with no choice, Hari Singh signed the Instrument of Accession to India on October 26, 1947. In exchange, India promised to protect Kashmir. It is critical to understand, Kashmir legally acceded to India under the same law that united other princely states. Next comes the political betrayal. After accession, Maharaja Hari Singh was quietly pushed out, and Sheikh Abdullah, a personal favorite of Jawaharlal Nehru, rose to power. Sheikh Abdullah was initially seen as a visionary, but soon turned Kashmir into a virtually autonomous state under Article 370. The special status sowed the seeds of separatism. Nehru misplaced emotionalism, and personal friendship with Abdullah led to many blunders, including taking the Kashmir issue to the United Nations, internationalizing what was a domestic matter. India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, under the influence of his Kashmiri associate Sheikh Abdullah, introduced the Article 370. This gave Jammu and Kashmir special status. On constitution, separate flag, limited Indian Parliament authority. The special status was meant to be temporary. Instead, it became a cage, separating Kashmiris from full integration with India. Pakistan, meanwhile, never stopped poisoning minds across the border, and even inside. By 1989, terrorism, funded and trained by Pakistan, has risen. Radical groups like JKLF, Hizbul Mujahideen, and others began ethnic cleansing. Their target, Kashmiri Pandits, the original sons and daughters of Kashmir. Threats were posted on doors. Leave, convert, or die. Women were specifically targeted. Killings were brutal and public. Massacres like Vandama, Nandi Marg, and Chitti Singhpura etched pain into the memory of Kashmir. Over 400,000 Kashmiri Pandits were forced to flee their homeland. Let me tell you again. 3 to 4 lakhs of Kashmiri Pandits were forced to flee their homeland. Families left overnight, carrying only what they could. India wept silently. The world remained blind. 1990. Terror reigned supreme in Valley. Extremists, aided by Pakistan, issued chilling warnings through mosques, loudspeakers. Leave, convert or die. Rape, arson and murder became weapons of ethnic cleansing. Over 3 lakh Kashmiri Pandits fled overnight, leaving behind ancestral homes, temples and their entire way of life. Those who stayed behind were subjected to unspeakable horrors. This was not just displacement, it was genocide. Even sacred journeys became battlefields. Amarnath Yatra pilgrims, simple devotees seeking blessings, were targeted in multiple attacks. In 2017, militants killed 8 pilgrims and injured dozens more. Army deployment around pilgrimage sites are not symbols of aggression. They are shields for survival. Sharda Peeth in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir was left abandoned for decades. Only recently, initiatives have been taken to revive its sanctity. What does it mean when Sharda herself is silenced? Let's not forget the Indo-Pakistan and Indo-China wars. 1947-1948, First Indo-Pak War, ended with a ceasefire, with Pakistan illegally occupying parts of Kashmir, now called Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or POK. In 1965, Second Indo-Pak War, Pakistan launched Operation Gibraltar to infiltrate forces into Kashmir, repelled by Indian forces. 1970 Indo-Pak War. Though primarily over Bangladesh, Kashmir tension remained a backdrop. 1991 Kargil War. Pakistani soldiers and militants occupied Indian posts in Kargil sector. India heroically reclaimed them. Kashmir's blood and spirit were constantly tested. Why does Pakistan want Kashmir so badly? Water resources, control over rivers like Jhelum and Chenab, strategic military advantage, Islamic ideological expansion. And China? It already occupies Aksai Chin, gifted by Pakistan illegally. It dreams of controlling roads, connecting Pakistan to its Belt and Road Initiative. Thus, Kashmir is not just emotional, it's geopolitical gold. Pakistan's proxy war began soon after independence. The wars of 1947, 1965, 1971, and the Kargil intrusion 1999 all stem from the same toxic desire to claim a land that rejected them. Thousands of soldiers from every corner of Bharat have laid down their lives to keep Kashmir free. The Pulwama attack of 2019 was the blood-soaked climax of this decades-long conflict. 40 CRPF soldiers martyred by cowardly suicide bombing masterminded by Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed. The abrogation of Article 370 in 2019 by the Indian government was historic reset. For the first time, Kashmir truly stands equal with the rest of India. Yet, peace is fragile. On 5th August 2019, when India abrogated Article 317, finally restoring equality with the rest of India and making Kashmir a union territory, predictably, some inside and outside India cried foul. But for the first time since 1947, Kashmir was truly, legally and emotionally integrated with Bharat. The journey ahead is still hard. Mistrust remains, but a seed has been planted, a seed of healing. Kashmir is not just a land of snow and valleys. It is a silent prayer of Sharda Devi. It is a wounded cry of the Pandit Mother. It is the unbroken courage of soldiers guarding invisible borders. The story of Kashmir is not one of hate. It is a story of survival, of faith, of dharma. And today, through Tathastu Bharat, we remember and we whisper to the mountains. The sons and daughters of Bharat have not forgotten, nor shall we ever. Let the world know the truth. Let the world know that Bharat remembers every sacrifice, every tear, every prayer whispered into the Himalayan winds. And so must you. For Tathastu Bharat, Arya Shruti. Jai Hind.